Let's make fun of freaking autonomous trucks. And hopefully we could stop this. Hopefully we could stop it right here on Bonehead Truckers. Listen, I wish I had that much power on here. But I'm doggone going to try. I'm going to give it my darndest. Humans step up as Texas steps back from autonomous trucking. And this is Aurora, one of the Aurora trucks, okay? And they're huge. I say they're huge. They're doing their testing between Dallas and Houston, and they've been doing it for a number of years now. We've been covering it here between them and Too Simple, which, by the way, Too Simple, all the backing they had from mega carriers like U.S. Express, they're out of business. Well, I say they're out of business. They shut down their U.S. operations and took it to China. They took it to China. They had a wreck over there between Tucson and Phoenix, okay? And they went, and the people that worked there denied it at first, saying, oh man, it's human error or something like that. It had nothing to do with anything to do with the technology. But after those employees left, they later retracted those statements and said it's definitely the technology error. Okay, and now obviously with that wreck, all they did was crash into like a concrete wall or something like that. But still, it could have been a Subaru. Anyway, but this is Aurora. Aurora is very much in business. And as a matter of fact, if you are driving for, let me find it here. Let me find their website. If you're driving for Hirschbach, Schneider, Warner, Ryder, FedEx, if you're driving for these places, understand that the drivers or these companies, these big carriers that you're driving for, they want to eventually replace you. Okay, I don't care what those big wigs up in their corporate offices say. If they go and sit there and say, hey, we're funding them, or we're going to allow autonomous truck. Hirschbach has Aurora trucks pulling their trailers. What do you think about them there marbles? Huh? Just think about that. I'm not sitting there saying don't go work for these companies. You got to take care of you. But I'm just sitting there saying that these corporate people up top, they don't care about you. They don't care about none of you. None of us. Anyway, so this is what's going on. The new information going on with Aurora versus Texas. There's a Teamsters, and we've talked about that. We made a video about this not too long ago. House Bill 4402, a proposed law just passed out of the Texas House Committee onto Transportation and would require trained human operators in autonomous vehicles. And we've talked about this, how Texas is pushing back. PACCAR recently said that, hey, we want a person in the driver's seat. Okay, PACCAR. Obviously, let me go back over here. Guess where are they at? They're on here somewhere. Peterbilt, Kenworth. You see them? That's PACCAR. Okay, that's PACCAR. But here's who's pushing for House Bill 4402. Guess who it is? It's the Teamsters. President of the Teamsters Joint Council 80 in Dallas, Texas, and Southern Region International Vice President. His name is Brent Taylor. Requiring a human operator in a driverless truck isn't unreasonable. It's common sense. Absolutely. And here's my question for you guys. All right, here's my question. Obviously, you've got the Teamsters, and not everyone's Teamsters. They're just not. I've never been a part of any trucking union or any union at all, but not a trucking union. And I'm on the fence on whether I support a union or not. Okay, I'm just really on the fence. I don't have a lot of information. I always go back and forth, but I can tell you one thing: is it a bad thing? I don't think it can be necessarily a bad thing when these guys are fighting. They're fighting against autonomous trucks. And you say, well, how does that? Well, if these Teamster drivers goes on strike, Okay, just look at what they did on the port just about a year ago, a little less than a year ago. People, or maybe it was earlier this year, where people down on the ports, they went on strike against what? Against automation to save their jobs. And obviously it would take some sort of organization to go and sit there and to do a strike, a trucking strike. There's no way you could get, any of these truck drivers to agree on anything, even a free cup of coffee. They couldn't agree on the price of it, okay? I'm just sitting there saying, we've never agreed on this crap. It's kind of like I'm sitting there going off and sitting there talking about we need to make sure truck drivers speak English, okay? All right? You've actually got truck drivers that sit there and say, well, no, you don't. It hurts their feelings. You actually got truck drivers sitting there saying, why do you want to attack them and hurt their feelings because they don't speak English? I don't know. Maybe so they could read the signs? Maybe because that's the law? I mean, you actually got people doing that. But I wonder how these type of people feel about autonomous trucks. I mean, they don't like me. So, we really need autonomous trucks. I don't really want a job. I believe in socialism. I want to be on welfare the rest of my life. I'm 50 years old. I can't afford to go back to college and do anything else. I guess I'll go work to Walmart. Well, guess what? Walmart's going all automation too. What am I going to do? Live off the government? Be poor the rest of my life. And that's what's going on here. That's the argument. That's what they sound like to me. I need to tell you. I hope you guys found that part funny and not very annoying. Okay, but I'm just sitting there saying, too simple. Like I said, these guys went out of business, or at least here in the United States. Again, they're in China. I've done videos on them, right? And I mean, they just basically ran out of money. They just ran out of money and no investors. So I'm going to continue to make videos just like this against autonomous trucks. This is the owner of Too Simple. His name is Chris Ehrman. Now, he's out of Canada. I mean, he's a big time freaking guy right here. And kind of, I guess he's done some stuff with Tesla and whatnot. And let me just say, as much as, we cherry pick on things, what we like, what we don't like, I've never been an Elon Musk fan. Now, hey, if he's doing some things, if we could get in the president's ear on something involving trucking that works for us, we could use those things. But let's just face it here. AI technology, autonomous technology, self-driving trucks, I'm against that in trucking. Because why? I like having a job. I like having, you guys having jobs. I like dispatchers having jobs, safety managers, the things that make trucking go around, brokers, like shippers, receivers. I would love for us to all have jobs, right? And you got a large section of this AI wanting to get rid. They think it's all automation and it's all great. It's going to solve the world's issues. I mean, it can be all good and has its, good things to it. But let me just say, when it comes to my job, when it comes to your job, like, it's not funny then, is it? No, like, I'm against it. So again, we could cherry pick all day long what we like, what we don't like. But at the end of the day, Elon Musk is pro self-driving trucks. Just remember that when you go and sit there and say, oh, Elon's so great because he's MAGA. I'm not MAGA. I'm trucker. Okay, how about that? I'm trucker. I mean, I could be happy with some things that that Trump has done, and be happy with that. But then also when he's sitting there promoting these AI companies and autonomous vehicles, I'm like, and he's going over there doing photo shoots with the ATA. I'm skeptical. I'm fine. Hey, him signing the freaking executive order, I'm okay with. I'm 100%. And listen, and it doesn't matter if you got a Republican or a Democrat. If they do something good for trucking, for us to keep our jobs, for us to make money, to be safe, and do all that kind of stuff, have a future for our families, that's a good thing. And I'll praise them. I just will. Anyways, Bonehead Truckers, we gone.